So I came outside today, and hopefully you guys can hear me. I have a microphone, but honestly, I didn't really care to go and look for it right now, and I didn't really think to until I started the video. I don't really know like what I'm gonna say. I think I just wanted to yap, and sometimes I just get so in my head about like wanting things to look perfect and like needing to have like everything to make it look professional and make it look good and make it look pristine and perfect. And I think that's just like my perfectionist mindset that I have sometimes. But I have been like feeling called to make a video and just talk. I don't really know like what I'm gonna talk about, but whatever I talk about, I'll label the video such as that. But I today I woke up and I took a little bit longer to get ready, but and I was gonna go on a hike because the weather's been getting like a little bit cooler. But I took a little bit long to get ready, and I got a text to go to a birthday party for this girl that I train, her grandma, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. And sometimes like if I don't have like a set plan, I'll get in my head about like what to do, and then sometimes that'll get me stuck in like trying to make that decision that I just like takes such a long time to like come to a decision. And so I ended up just driving because it was kind of ways away, and I told him that I'd get there like on time, and he was like, no rush. And so then I came to a spot that I used to come to like a couple years ago, and I just started writing in my journal, and I'm just sitting in the sun, and I'm looking at the grass, and just looking at how the grass is just like swaying in the wind a little bit, and then there's bees, there's dragonflies, there's little bugs going around, there's little strings of like spider webs that are forming. And I don't know, to just like take the time to do that today was just very peaceful for me and very heartwarming for me, to just like sit in the sun and just like feel the sun. And it's so simple. And I think sometimes we look at this big picture of, oh my gosh, look at all this land, like what should I even do, like where should I go? And sometimes you just have to find a spot, find a spot that makes you comfortable, and then just choose it and sit there, lay in it, and just see the little small things and feel it. And I think that's kind of where I'm kind of at, is like just making a decision and just kind of seeing like what happens with that decision. And from someone that has always dealt with having to I don't want to say struggle or suffer from anxiety, but just having to deal with symptoms of having anxiety sometimes and feeling anxiety, it can kind of be hard for me sometimes to like make that decision, because then I can get a little bit anxious. But I've really been trying to stick true to my word. So if I have something that I want to do the next day or what may have you, I tell myself, I don't even really have to write it down, I just tell myself, okay, this is what I'm gonna do this day. And I'm gonna say, okay, like I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna do my skincare routine, I'm gonna make breakfast, and then I'm gonna go get some tea or coffee, I'm gonna go on a walk, and then I'm gonna paint, I'm gonna journal. And I just do that the next day, and then I've found that I find so much more peace, and I'm more fluid because I'm sticking to my word, and I'm staying true to what I said I was gonna do, and I'm not as stressed, and I can actually see the fruition in doing those things, versus when I don't make a plan and I'm kind of like, oh shoot, like what do I do? And then I'm like stuck in that, like what do I do? And yeah, so I'm just like in this phase right now of like learning myself. I've definitely have seen some patterns of just like sitting with myself with like certain feelings that maybe I don't like the most. Just like dealing with grief, you know what I mean? Like I lost my dog coming on, it's like been 4.5 months now. Well, 4 months in a week. And I haven't ever experienced loss like this close. And I know, like, to some people it's like, oh, it's just a dog, but like, he was the closest soul that I've ever had to be close to, and especially just growing up in the circumstances that I had to go through, and just really having to always feel like I had to depend on myself and depend on Christ and really just like push forward. I definitely have gotten in those moods of like like no one gets me, and like, who am I? And with Enzo, that's his name, Lorenzo Jones, I just felt at peace, and I could feel that spiritual connection. I could feel that bond, and I could feel that unconditional love and that purity. And that's so rare to come around, especially with humans, and it's not necessarily like our fault or humans' fault. I just think because we're imperfect and we're imperfect beings, and we have hurt and we have things that happen, our heart just changes. And I saw someone had said something. I saw a quote. No, I was on YouTube, and someone was talking about how he lost his dog, and it's a very like popular dog. I believe her name was Stella, and she had passed away. And he had said something, like he can't wait for the day where he can feel the full purity of his heart again. And that stuck with me because it was like, yeah, like I remember a time where I was naive and I was in love, and I just gave my whole heart and everything, to this person and to that experience. And you get hurt, and then you meet other people and you have other experiences, and then you just begin to like genuinely just kind of lose those parts of you that once made you like a core value of who you are, especially those loving parts. And right now I've definitely just been wanting to spend more time by myself to like learn the parts that I want to keep of myself that that are guarding my heart, because the Lord says one of the commandments is to guard your heart. And because our heart is one of our most important gifts that we have, our most important organ that we have, and to take care of that and to nurture that and to love that part of yourself, and to make sure that if you're giving it to someone, if you're giving it to something, anything, that it's going to take care of you and it's going to be reciprocal. And I think that's really something important that Jesus wants us to find for ourselves, and the universe wants us to feel for ourselves. And it's something that we all want to embody. So I definitely have been sitting with myself about certain traits that have come up, certain feelings of numbness that I feel sometimes, certain feelings of anger, certain feelings of sadness. Like every day recently hasn't been this so happy and light and love. It's definitely been like F this, F that, what the hell, and what can I do? And okay, today's a good day, okay, let's do this. I have my ups and downs, and I think that's what grief is. I think grief is just having ups and downs and learning yourself now because of this new life. And I think that was probably like the hardest part for me, and I think it still is the hardest part for me right now, is just adjusting to this new life that I have. I'm in a new place, I see different people, I don't have the same friends, I don't have my dog anymore, so there's so many things that are different. And even my brain, my heart, my soul, it's different. And I'm just really trying to cultivate and be in unison with mind, body, and spirit. And I think that's something that as a soul uniquely is something so important to be able to have, to be in alignment with your body, your mind, and your spirit, to be able to make decisions that are in the best alignment for you, for where you're at now, for your future, and to place you around places, people, and things that just just will teach you, will make you grow, will push you into a better version of yourself. And understanding that as you get older, and one thing that I'm learning is, as I get older, life's gonna get harder, and you just have to get stronger, which is something that it sucks to say, but that's the truth of it. Especially God does give his strongest battles to his toughest soldiers, because he knows that there will come a time where maybe someone else will need their help, and someone else will need the patience and the love and the guidance that they've learned from the experiences that were meant to harm them. So, you know, I didn't really know that where that was gonna go. But if you're grieving, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling sad, you know, something I wrote down in my journal was when I was getting a tattoo of my dog for him. I don't know if you guys, I got this, and I got something else on my side, and it says, "I love you always and forever, forever and always." And when I was, you know, kind of hurting, I was pushing through it, and I was like, this is temporary. And the thought that came to my head is that, you know, even if, you know, in this life you feel pain or you're grieving, maybe not every day, but but some of the days, and you're not always like that happy person that you once started this journey off with, it's really important to understand that pain is temporary. Our souls are infinite. This experience is temporary. And everything that you're feeling right now is temporary. And when you get to that time where, you know, you do cross over and you are, you know, just, you know the truth of everything, and you remember why you came to this earth, and you know, remember all the people and places and things, and you get to see all those people again, and you get to feel the love of the Creator again, it's gonna all make sense, and you won't feel that anymore. So I think it's a beautiful thing to love so hard and so much, to be able to carry that with you on the experiences that you go. And even though sometimes it hurts and it's painful and it's like, oh, when will this end? One day it will end. I don't know when it will end for you. Only the Lord knows when it will. But when it does, it'll be a day that it was supposed to end for you. It'll be a day that, you know, that was your time. And I know everyone says, oh, they're in a better place now, but you genuinely will be. And I think it's really important to understand that you can have heaven on earth. You can find joy in the little things. And I have to do a better job at reminding myself of that and pushing myself to see that a lot more. And I just hope that, you know, this can help someone out there, whoever sees this. You know, I don't really ever post. I need to post more, but whoever sees this, I hope that it can help you, and it can help you just push to be the best version of yourself, and give yourself grace and give yourself love, and to just love those closest to you and just be a good human. So I love you guys. I hope that you guys have a really, really beautiful day whenever you're seeing this, a beautiful night, a beautiful fall, a beautiful summer, a beautiful winter, a beautiful spring, whenever you're seeing this video. And just know that you have a Creator that loves you so much, and the only way that they're able to work in your life is if you recognize them, in whichever way that looks like for you. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful day.